right after they put their deposit down and they head home from the seminar. They put down a $10,000 deposit. They know they've got a balance of $60,000 still due on that inner circle. Before they get home, by the time they hit their front door, there's a bouquet of roses at their front door. And the reason is I know their brain, if they're normal, is thinking on the way home, oh my God, I just committed to a $70,000 investment in myself. Maybe I should cancel. When they get home and they see that bouquet of roses that they didn't expect, I never mentioned, never said was going to be there, they get that bouquet of roses, now they have to stop and think. They go, oh man, now I got to cancel, maybe have to send the roses back. And though subconsciously it says, he never told me he was going to do this for me, are there other things that he's going to do above and beyond that he didn't say he was going to do, which is absolutely true.
How do you determine the price point of your products that you're selling?
Good question. I believe there's always a market for the very best of something. Donald Trump said it, by the way. You build the best property on the best location using the best material, and there'll always be someone who will buy it. I don't have a desire to have the biggest crowds in the world at my seminars. I've been on stages for quite a bit of my career, 15, 20,000 person arenas. Even in that circumstance, out of the 20,000 people, there's 1,000 qualified buyers in there. So while it's a lot of fun to do an arena, as a business venture goes, I'd rather just have the 1,000. I'd rather just have those 1,000 buyers there, have the 19,000 that weren't qualified. They don't need to be there, and I don't need to pay for them. That said, myself, my companies, I have some of the highest closing ratios, dollars per head, of anybody in the business. And once again, if I meet somebody that's better than me, I don't have an ego attached to it. I'll pay them to learn what they're doing, except I haven't found that person yet. So how I structure my pricing is you want to structure your pricing to a point where people are paying attention. One of the questions I ask in my seminars, hey, if I gave you this $70,000 program for free, would you want to attend? If their hands don't go up, if they don't agree, they're not a customer at any price. But if their hand goes up, now I know they want it. Now we're negotiating what's the investment they're willing to make. And then I say, how many of you, first of all, it's not going to be free. Not a chance in hell that's going to happen. How many of you realize, though, if you had paid $1 million for this course, you'd be taking better notes because you'd have to. And so it's kind of a balance in there. I want people to invest in themselves to a point where they'll take it seriously, they'll actually use the information, and they'll make sure that they go back out and say, okay, how do I get a positive return on my investment? And I think that sometimes you lose a sale by not charging enough. People say, well, if this thing does all that and you're only charging this low price, you got to be lying to me.